So what they're doing is they're practicing radio telemetry. So this is a technique that's used to track animals. And so again, through a grant from the Turbuck Dean's Fund, we were able to purchase telemetry equipment so they can become familiar with it and be able to say on their resume that they have experience using telemetry equipment. So what they're doing right now is they're listening for the signal that's being transmitted by the radio transmitters.
We're really lucky being at Upper Iowa because the faculty aren't here for the fame and fortune, but we're here because we want to teach. And we're given that great opportunity. We don't have a lot of external pressure to do research. We're expected to stay current in our field, and some of us do that by doing research. But we really are meant to be a teaching institution. And for me, a lot of that is helping make sure that the students are being successful. One of the ways I do that is by getting to know them well. And so seeing when they don't show up for class for a couple days, you want to check in on them and make sure everything's all right, because with our 8-week sessions, missing even a couple of days means they can get behind pretty quickly. So ensuring that they are understanding the material, that they're following along, because again, they don't have to be in class every day, they're grown-ups, but making sure that they feel comfortable with their level of comprehension, their understanding. And again, we're able to pay attention to the students because we are a small school, and we're able to develop those relationships to help them figure out, maybe they don't know exactly what they want to do for their career, but we can help them figure out what opportunities are out there and get them different experiences.
I view my whole role here as a mentor, is to find their path, not the right path, because the right path in my mind could look totally different than their path. You've helped them along their path when you get that call like I did this past summer saying, hey, Delmer, I wanted to let you know and be one of the first to know because you helped me along the way that I get to be a writer for ESPN. And I'm like, getting that call, or getting the call of, I'm now a football coach in another college, and I just want to tell you how the year is going to play out. All of those calls and even an email, know that you're still that mentor, that they believe that route in you. And you have that connection because you might be their mentor or their educator for 4 years, but you'll know the year after they graduate if you were meant to be their friend. And I felt like I've made a lot of friends over the years as they call me and we talk through many, many life roles that they have.
I had a professor in college, and my professor said to us on the last day in my classroom, once you are my student, you are always my student. You may reach out to me at any point. I don't care if we're talking 10, 15, 20 years down the road, you can do that. All I ask is if you're in the same positions, you extend that to other people. So here I am in that position, and as I always let everyone know, once you are my student, you're always my student. You may reach out to me at any point, and I will help you any way I possibly can. When we think education, we think so formally, and we think of lectures, and we think of papers, and we think that that's where the learning occurs. I think we're kind of missing the boat on this a little bit. It's those informal conversations where adults really, really learn and learn well, and I think that it's important to keep that open. I would hope, again, I'm teaching behavior courses. If one of my students had an issue the first year teaching, I would hope they would feel comfortable reaching out to me, because once you're my student, you're always my student. Or if they're having problems with communicating with a family, once you're my student, you're always my student.
Motivating me on a day-to-day basis is absolutely working with the students. I'm a faculty fellow, if you know what that is. I'm an outreach person for the wrestling team and the football team. And when I send out pre-game and pre-meet messages and post-meet and post-game messages. And when I run into football players like today and they're like, I might not respond, but I always read them. I'm like, those kind of connections you can't make up. Is them knowing your name or them knowing that they can call you by your last name because it is a sporting institution, and that connection makes every day great. That's what motivates me. I am an ear, I am an ear. And I'm hopefully their support, and they view that as they leave and they call me later on or run into me saying, thank you.
For the student at Upper Iowa that's in the classroom, this is someone going back to school to find their passion and their dreams. And so I want to be a part of that journey for them. However small it may be, I want to be a part of that journey. Secondly, it's for the kid in the classroom they're going to teach at some point. I want to be part of that too. Is there more money in a lot of other sectors? Yeah, but nothing's going to fulfill you like it does in education.
For me, part of it is continuing to do research, continuing to study wildlife and involve students in that research. But I also attend conferences. We just had the fall workshop for the Iowa Wildlife Society, and I was able to bring my mammalogy students out to that, and they got to network with professionals in the field and hear speakers talk about like prairie restoration. So involving students in those types of activities and helping them see that they are part of this, they're part of the field, and that whatever their career path may be, they can still be involved in it in different ways.
The comm profession, I'm lucky enough to can fit in so many areas that I can see the best out of everybody, and their area can be so fine-tuned into where they go, and that's what the classes do. Shows them their path doesn't have to be, you know, I'm working in like sports communication and that's all I'll do. No, in sports comm, it's just a gateway into so many other great things that they can do, and that's where the hands-on approach in all my classes come into play.
What sets Upper Iowa apart? I teach to all these teachers in the Bettendorf school districts, and I start my trainings with how many of you raise your hand and received any training in classroom management, behavior management prior to your first job in education. It is a rare occurrence to get a single hand in that room. It does happen, but it's incredibly rare. In my behavior methods class, we are working on interventions, we are working on strategies, we are working on approaches, we're explaining what some of these things are. Things that to me seem like common sense that we should be training our teachers. And to the best of my knowledge, Upper Iowa is the only place where it's being done. I guess that's what I'm getting at, is why I choose to take on the second job, is it's teaching and preparing the next generation of teachers, things that I don't know anyone else that's doing it.
To get an award like this is amazing, and it's amazing recognition. It's that day that you say, they actually see me, you know, because you love a place so much, you go there every day, and yeah, I felt really loved and blessed. Honored is just such I don't even feel like it has enough depth to tell you how much it meant to me, and humbled, honored and humbled, you know, to receive that award.
When I got that email that said a student has nominated you for this award, I was blown away and unbelievably touched. And of course you're thinking, well, which student was it? And you're like, well, you know what, does it matter? I mean, like, someone appreciated what I was doing in the classroom enough to nominate me for this, and that's the greatest compliment they can give me.
It does feel really rewarding to be recognized by the students, and I definitely appreciate the Mangans for their contributions to this. And we don't do it for the recognition, but it really does feel great to have that happen.